Hey!
Oi! Clear off.
Dad.
Go on.
Dad, don't worry about them. How was I?
Not bad.
Not bad good or not bad bad?
Not outstanding. Barely excellent. Not as good as you're going to have to be, and certainly not as good as you can be.
Maybe it is.
You believe that? It's never our body that fails us, Angela.
Why don't you tell Mum that then?
I know what Mum's going through is distressing you. We both know that. But now you have to stay focused. The thought of you getting this scholarship to Princeton, the thought of you competing at that level, that's the only thing that's helped us get through this.
Maybe it shouldn't all be down to me.
Look, the only thing we want is for you to be all you're capable of, all you deserve to be.
Happy and successful.
Exactly.
Two 4898. Sorry, I'm in surgery. No, I'm sorry, that was my home number. Oh, did I? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off before. No, I'm sorry, Dr. Mystery's not in yet. Well, I'm sorry, but it's not... Well, there was no call for that.
What did he say?
He suggested something the phone company would not approve of.
Joe, these are last quarter's claims. I need this quarter's.
Oh, I'm sorry. It won't happen again.
It's all right. It's no big deal.
I'll get them for you now.
Thanks.
You brought me the wrong notes as well, Joe. Attention to detail. It's all very important. We all have our part to play. And checking the details, that's your part.
Right, love. I wonder if you could fit me in.
Not bad. Another go wouldn't hurt.
I've got to go.
You haven't finished the session yet.
I have. See you at home later.
Where are you going? Do you want a lift?
Have you spoken to your mother about the results?
Not yet. That's why I'm here.
What about your father? Have you spoken to him? It's important to get some family support.
He couldn't handle this. Dad goes into shock when he opens the wrong bathroom cabinet and sees a box of tampons. He's the last person I want to talk to about this.
Did the specialist explain what the results mean?
He said they weren't good. That's what I expected. The abnormal gene. It's a lovely term, isn't it?
Well, at least you know now. At least you can think things over.
I don't need to think things over.
What do you mean?
I've made a decision. I want to be referred for a bilateral mastectomy. I'm not waiting to get cancer.
Well, I've had a good look at the evidence. Now I'll just write you out a prescription for some cream, which should alleviate the discomfort, and we'll get you some suppositories.
Definitely no operation. Only I read about it in a women's magazine. Yeah, I picked it up on the buzz somewhere.
Definitely no operation. Surgery only really comes in when medicine fails. And in fact, medicine only comes in when a healthy lifestyle fails. There are some steps, you know, you can take to cope with the problem yourself.
And what steps are those?
Well, like a healthy diet, more bran, more fibre, cut down on the straining.
Mm-hmm.
We'll take a urine sample, run some tests, and we'll see about getting you some stool softeners for a start.
I've got some cushions, but I'd really rather not have one of them inflatable rubber rings, if you don't mind.
Right.
I could kiss you, you know.
That won't be necessary.
Well, there must be something I can do.
Oh, really? It's all in a day's work.
Hey, do you like a flutter? Only my younger brother works for Blackwoods, and they have got a dead cert in the 330.
You don't have to make any quick decisions about this.
I have the gene. You know the odds as well as I do. My mother's recovering from a second mastectomy. My aunt had a bilateral mastectomy aged 30. My grandmother died of breast cancer.
I know.
These gene test results alone push the probability of my getting breast cancer up to 85%.
But it's not 100% certain, is it? There's an 85% chance you might develop cancer by the time you're 80. We could be talking decades away.
I've worked it out. There's more than 4 out of 5 chances I'll get it. Would you like to bet on those odds?
No. No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, well, neither would I. So I want to be referred.
It's too soon. How do you know that in 5 years' time they won't come up with a cure for breast cancer? They're making medical advances every day. There's every chance they'll come up with a cure before you even think of a mastectomy.
Anything can happen. In 5, 10, 20 years. But I want to sort this out now. I watched my mum go through it. Not just the first time round before she got cancer, but every day after that first mastectomy. Terrified it would come back. Hanging on to her one breast like it... And for what? Why?
She hoped it wouldn't come back.
Oh, that kind of hope's sick.
Your mother knew the risks. You should talk to her. I'm coming round this afternoon. Why not do it then?
I don't want her to know. She's got enough to deal with.
She's been through this.
Exactly. She's been through enough.
She's tougher than you think.
I know how tough she is.
Speak to her then. You need to take all the appropriate steps before making this decision, and one of those steps is emotional support from your family.
Did he sort you out then?
Yeah, thanks a lot.
My pleasure.
It's a great weight off, I can tell you.
I just needed to do a urine sample. Can you pop back in with that later today?
Yeah, no problem. Thanks a lot.
It's all right.
Another happy customer?
We ate, please.
Hey, Joe, how'd you fancy a little tickle?
Dr. Rawlings?
No, on the GGs. Dave's just given me a hot tip. A bit of insider info. Go on, fam.
Oh, count me in. I could do with a bit of good luck.
So what do you say we have a wet round, about £5 each? You could pop out this hour and put a bet on.
OK. I've never done that before.
What's all this then?
Steve's got a hot GG.
Can't lose.
Yeah, right.
Don't tell me. It's a sure thing.
Trust me, I'm a...
Doctor. Yeah. I've heard it all before.
So what are you going to spend your winnings on then, Joe?
Oh, you know, champagne and caviar. Live dangerously, guess a £5.
All right. Not a word to Kate.
Can I owe you? I've no cash on me at the moment.
Go on, then.
You can take out my winnings.
Oh, what's the horse called?
Magdalene.
Right, then.
Don't tell Mac.
It's Helen she should be worrying about.
Oh, no, she doesn't approve of gambling, does she? I suppose you can understand it. Her dad was a bit of a gambler.
Joe, you did the pause.
Oh.
Oi, what's going on here?
So have you heard about the big wager then?
A £5.
It's your thing. Dead cert.
Well, in that case, I think I can do better than a £5.
Well, why doesn't that surprise us?
Or, Joe, if Rana does something, he doesn't mess about. He does a job properly. Let's say 50. No, let's say a ton.
OK. Leave it with Jo. She's going to put the bet on later.
I'll do it myself. No offence, Joe. Don't trust you to put a hat on, let alone a bet.
I could kill him sometimes.
She wants to be referred for a bilateral mastectomy.
Well, that's ridiculous. What is she, 17?
18, but she's determined.
Well, all you can do is support her. The consultant's the one who decides whether to go ahead or not. And that's hardly likely to happen. I shouldn't worry about it if I were you.
I can't just pass the buck, Mac. I have a duty of care to her, not just medical care. I know her. I know her family. I can't just pass that on with a bundle of notes.
You don't seriously approve of this idea, do you?
No, of course not, but she does have a point.
Does she?
She knows she's going to develop cancer. It's just a question of when.
Not 100% though, is it?
No, but as she pointed out herself, it's worse than 4 out of 5 chances.
And that's on her getting it, not when. She's very unlikely to develop it for years to come.
So that's years of stress and worry. She's watched her mother and aunt suffer. She watched her grandmother die. She wants to take action against it now.
Do you think it has anything to do with her swimming?
Why?
Streamlining effect, I don't know. Would it make her faster in the water?
I don't know. I hadn't thought about it.
Maybe she has.
Look at me. I just thank God for makeup.
It's only Dr. Thompson. I'm sure she's seen worse.
I'm sure she has too. But only at the morgue.
Mum, I need to talk to you.
That sounds serious. Not changed your mind about America?
No, it's not that.
Because if your dad's putting on too much pressure.
It's not Dad. It's about the gene testing.
You've had the results?
I've got the abnormal gene, Mum.
Darling, I'm so sorry.
Hey, come on. It's not your fault, is it?
Isn't it? You inherited it from me.
Don't be stupid. Would you rather I wasn't born?
Of course not. But I wish you hadn't had that test.
Yeah, well, it's better to know, isn't it?
I'm not so sure.
Well, I am. and I've asked to be put on the waiting list for a mastectomy.
What are you talking about?
I want to be put on the list. I don't want to wait.
But that's crazy. The cancer could be years off. You're perfectly healthy. You don't even need to think about an operation yet.
It's going to happen sooner or later. Sooner means I'm young, I'm healthy, and I'll recover quicker. And I won't need chemotherapy, so I'll get to keep my hair.
I can't bear to think of it. I couldn't bear to see you going through this.
And I can't bear to sit and wait for it to happen. I watched you go through that. I don't want it for me.
But it could be years away, and you're so young. You're so pretty.
That won't change. Look at you. You're still beautiful.
I don't think your dad would agree with you. What does he know, eh?
You want to get that bet on soon, Joe? The odds are shortening. I got on a Burlington Bertie, but it's coming in.
Beg your pardon?
Burlington Bertie, 100 to 30.
Is that the bookkeeper?
Don't ever change, will you, Joe?
Everything seems fine.
Not from where I'm sitting. When do I get my energy back?
Soon. You'll get stronger every day from now on.
You'd think the surgery would be enough, wouldn't you?
The chemo's just a precaution, flushing your blood out.
I know. I'm just feeling a bit sorry for myself.
It affects people in different ways.
I suppose if Angela has her way, she'll be spared this at least.
So she's spoken to you then?
Yes.
And what did you tell her?
That I loved her.
That's a good start.
I hate the idea of her going through this.
I had a lump in my breast earlier this year. I had to wait 24 hours for the results of a biopsy. It was the longest 24 hours of my life.
Imagine having to wait 15, 20 years.
Hello. What's she told you?
I told her I'd support you when it comes to it, whatever you decide.
Thanks.
I was hoping she was going to talk some sense into you.
I know what waiting for the cancer to get you is like, and I know what the operation is like. Every piece of breast tissue cut from your body. Either way, it's a terrible thing. If Angela wants to take some control over it.
But what if it's not necessary?
How do we know?
We don't. And it's my decision.
Look, we're getting ahead of ourselves here. The whole procedure would have to be approved by a specialist. That might not even happen.
Well, why not?
Because you're too young, and you're perfectly healthy.
I'm 18 years old. That's old enough to make my own decisions.
It's national health policy. We don't operate on healthy people.
That's not true. I know these kind of surgeries happen.
Not at your age.
But we both know that I'm going to get it. It's just a question of when. Well, I don't want to wait, and I think I have the right to make that decision, nobody else.
They're under start orders, and they're off. And they're off first time to a pretty good break with 22 fences to jump and 3¼ miles to go. And the first to go on, it's all very fine. On the inside shows ahead of Hankia, 3 counties and Kelly's Honour.
Can I help you, love?
I want to put a bet on.
Well, you've come to the right place.
What do we do?
Just write it on a betting slip.
One of these?
That's it. Is it a win bet?
I hope so.
No, I mean, do you want it to win or each way?
No, I want it to win.
Tell you what, I'll do it. Right, what's the race?
3:30 at Lingfield.
3:30 there. How much do you want to put on?
40 quid.
Good. With tax?
Yep.
What's the horse?
It's something funny.
Don't worry. Let's have a look. Right. Freddie's Fancy?
No.
Scimitar? Westfire? Bowl Along Bertie? Leggy
That's
Leg?
it.
What, Bowl Along Bertie? Are you sure?
Definitely. It's definitely something Bertie.
Right, you are. Good luck.
Thanks.
Your swimming's very important to you, isn't it?
Yeah, means a lot to me.
If you were to have this operation, would it improve your performance?
Without a doubt.
You've obviously thought about this then?
Of course I've thought about it. It's like I said, I've had plenty of time to think of every factor.
That's not why you want to do this.
It's one benefit, I suppose.
That's crazy.
I've told you my reasons. And if it also means I can compete at a greater level, then great.
That's not a good enough reason for this sort of operation.
It's not the issue. I've told you that. And anyway, I can always go private.
A private surgeon is no more likely to undertake this sort of procedure. It's a matter of medical ethics.
We're talking about money and private medicine. What have ethics ever had to do with that?
Yeah, I will get Dr. Thompson to call you as soon as possible. My pleasure. Bye.
Come on, it's only 5 minutes. Have you got the radio sorted?
Ta-da!
Great. Right, I'll see you out the back in a minute.
Jeez, like a kid with a new toy, isn't he? I've never seen him this excited.
All I can say is I'll make a few inquiries, but nothing's going to happen overnight, that I can promise you.
Hello. I was hoping I'd catch you. How's the patient?
She's good. The chemo's taken it out of her, but that's nothing unusual. She'll be fine in a week or two.
That's great.
What do you care?
What's wrong with her?
She's upset.
Why?
Have you got a few more minutes?
Of course.
A little bit of trouble there, getting Westfire on the stall. Always a bit frisky. Hasn't seemed to have calmed down any since he's been gelded.
Can you blame him?
So this is it.
They're all in now. And they're under starter's orders. And they're off. Scimitar a bit slow out of the box there, and Freddy's Fancy has taken an early lead. Closely followed by Bull Along Bertie and Magdalene close to the rails.
Come on, Madeline, you beauty!
And behind Magdalene comes Westfire and Scimitar with all to do. Freddy's Fancy making up lost ground now as they come to the halfway mark in this very competitive sprint handicap.
How are we doing?
Not looking
And
good.
Scimitar, Magdalene now giving her a little reminder, and she's responding to the whip with the characteristic turn of foot that sent her off 3-1 favourite. Bull Along Bertie going with her.
Oh, come on, Magdalene.
And it's Halliday's. And Bull Along Bertie. Magdalene trying to find some daylight on the rails. This is a blistering pace. Bull Along Bertie is pulling clear.
Come on, Madeline, you mare!
And the final furlong. Bull Along Bertie. Magdalene right behind. Halliday's can't take the pace. Thief of Time 3-4 lengths back. It's Bull Along Bertie refusing to give an inch. Magdalene bustling up on the inside and bumping through. Magdalene comes neck and neck and takes the lead by half a head. And Bull Along Bertie fighting back. What a game horse, Magdalene. Bull Along Bertie. Magdalene. Bull Along Bertie. And at the line is Magdalene.
Oh, well, come on, Joe. You're pleased with yourself. You just won yourself 15 quid.
No, I haven't. What do you mean? I put it on the wrong horse.
What are you talking about?
I couldn't remember the name, and Rana said he'd put it on Bow Along Bertie.
Burlington Bertie! That was the odds! 100 to 30. Burlington Bertie, 100 to 30. It's like 3 1/3 to 1. This is priceless.
Sorry.
Joe, you donkey.
What did I tell you? I've just won myself 330 quid. Thanks for the tip, mate.
Well, you can forget your fiver.
Martin, sit down. We need to talk about this.
There's nothing to talk about. It's ridiculous. It's barbaric. I can't believe you filled her head with this nonsense. No wonder she's upset.
It's not nonsense to Angela. It's real to her, just like it's real to me. She's trying to face up to things. Something you gave up on a long time ago.
What's that supposed to mean?
You know what it means.
I should get back to the surgery.
Hold on. I want to put you straight on a few matters of professional conduct first.
Angela only came in to see me today, and it's not my place to speak to you. That's her decision.
It's not her decision. She's a child.
She's 18.
Why wasn't I told about this gene testing?
Getting angry at me isn't going to help anybody. There is such a thing as doctor-patient confidentiality. I shouldn't have to tell you that.
You may know a little bit about being a doctor, but I know a lot about being a lawyer. If you continue to indulge this insanity, I will sue you and your practice out of business.
Penny for him. You look like you swallowed a lemon.
There's those forms.
Yeah, thanks for fitting me in, love. I'm like a new man, me.
Good.
But I'm still not suffering mine. Dr. Roaring says if piles was pennies, I'd be sitting on a small fortune. Hey, come on, love. You can tell your Uncle Dave. What's up?
I just lost a load of money on a horse.
Oh, which one?
Bow Along Bertie.
Or 3:30 at Lingfield? Oh, cheer up. Steward's inquiry. Magdalene was pulled up for interference.
What do you mean?
Well, they've reversed the places.
What, you mean that...
You've won.
Brilliant! Oh, no, he's ripped up the ticket!
Oh, don't worry about that. They always keep a copy. Anyway, they're bound to remember a pretty little thing like you. Was it the one up the road?
Yeah.
Well, Bill there's an old mate of mine. I tell you what, why don't I come up there with you and we'll sort it out?
Give me 2 minutes, I'll get Ruth to hold the fort, then I'm all yours.
Hey, I tell you what, I know this is the right place, but I don't have a heart attack.
I don't respond well to threats. Angela is my patient, and what I do or do not choose to do will be based on her decisions, not yours.
She's a young, intelligent, attractive woman. I am not about to allow her to let herself be mutilated. Put herself and her career at jeopardy.
I know it's not easy for you. You can't just keep ignoring things, pretending they're not there, hoping they'll go away.
I suppose I'm wrong to love my daughter. Is that what you're saying?
Of course that's not what she's saying. It's not about you, though, is it? Why does it always have to be about you?
I know you're upset.
Well, why is that, then?
We're going to talk about this later. Dr. Thompson's just leaving.
No. We're going to talk about this now. Why should I be upset?
Just try and stay calm.
Because I've been tested for the gene. Because I know I'm going to get cancer. Because I want this mastectomy. What I'm worried about is one day meeting a man. Falling in love, the whole thing. Getting married, having kids. And then waking up one morning and finding that first lump. Going into hospital and having a mastectomy, and then that man, that special man, my husband, deciding he can't handle it. Disgusted at the sight. Horrified at my body. Falling out of love with me. But if I have the operation now, I won't have to worry about that, will I? I mean, any man I meet will know exactly what he's getting from the start. He can't be disappointed later. He can't go off me because I've had my breasts removed.
That wouldn't happen.
Oh, yeah.
Not with any man worth your consideration.
Tell that to my dad.
Please.
He hasn't been near her since her first mastectomy 5 years ago. I heard Mom talking about it with my aunt. He can't bear to look at her. He can't even bear to talk to her about it. I'm not going through that. I'm not going through that.
You happy now?
Martin, for God's sake, stop it.
Stop what?
Blaming everyone else but yourself. Pretending you haven't got a problem, that we haven't got a problem.
We have to have this out now, in front of her.
If it wasn't for her, we wouldn't be doing this at all. We wouldn't know what was in her head. She persuaded Angela to talk to us.
Martin's right. You do need to talk. And if you want my help, I'd be glad to see you. But this isn't the right time or place.
Yes. Oh, Joe, have you got our winnings? What do you mean, our winnings? Well, from the horse. You told me you could forget your fiver, so I did. Twice as much for me.
Oh, come on, Joe. You know I didn't mean it.
Yeah, well, let this be a lesson to you. Physician, heal thyself, or something.
Yeah, very funny. Why didn't you tell me before I went all the way there?
What's up, Rana? Is there something up with the procedure? Did I miss a detail again?
Yeah, I'm out of here.
Oh. Nice one, Joe.
There you are, Caroline. Oh, Joe, I knew you loved me, really. I wouldn't bet on it.
Oh, yes.
Is this what's been behind what you want to do?
I'm scared. I'm scared what's happened to Mum's going to happen to me, too. Not just with the cancer, but Dad.
I guess I'm not much of a doctor after all, am I?
What do you mean?
We're meant to treat the patient, not the sickness. Here was I thinking you'd looked at the issues with pure clinical logic. You had me fooled. I guess I'm not as observant as I should be.
We're very good at covering up in this house.
What are you going to do?
I don't know.
Well, there's no hurry, is there?
I suppose not.
99% of medicine is diagnosing the problem. So, I suppose we've made a start.